As Chris always goes first. It's a term of our condition of our contract that he's always first through the door. The Chris and Max Show.
Special guest star Thor Rafferty.
Yeah, beauty first. Apparently, I'm sorry, Thor. That wasn't an intent.
Thor, back when you were doing the 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I had this vision of this guy, this buff, I say buffed out, but buffed out guy, all muscular and just in there trading and. Some wild guy from California kind of a thing. That was my vision of.
Boy, were you
wrong.
Great. Well, welcome everybody. On that note, what a welcoming opening segment.
No, I'm not saying you're still not that way, but, yeah. But you don't have the blonde hair.
We refer to this as the foot and mouth disease moment. Yeah. Welcome everybody. I'm Max Farrow. This is DexFXMarkets.com here on the 12th of June. Holy crap, we're about halfway through the year almost. And what a week it has been. You guys, I'm almost teary-eyed. You guys have really helped me get this point across that those that are patient and willing to work with us, there's a lot to come. But those that have been here for a long time waiting for things, there's so many things. For those that have come and left, you're missing out. Get back here. Get your butts back here. There's a lot of stuff we got to cover now, because remember, it's not easy. I mean, how many light bulbs did Edison go through? Does anybody know that story?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The Edison story? I think it was like 10,000 ideas or whatever it was, right? If it took you, let's just say that it took you 5 years to take an idea, and the first 4 years, 364 days, right? You went fail, 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 fail. Right. And the very last day of the 5th year, you went, ooh, success. Oh, wait, great success. And let's say during those 4 years, 4 years and 364 days, you didn't get paid a cent. But that on the last day of that 5th year or that 4th year, the 5th year total, you got paid $1 million. Okay. You had $1 million put in your hand. How much money did you make on the average for every single year? Get where I'm going with this? So it's not so much, like I think Thor and I, we talked about this a lot, and Chris and I have talked about it a lot with, it takes how long to make a business really successful. Okay. Now I see success with DexFX Markets on multiple different planes, right? I see the daily signals as a success. I see, the intradays, the Dex Atomic series, that charting system. And Thor, you're a direct process of that success on the, you're a direct result, I should say, on the Dex Atomic series system. Okay. Definitely. Because you use this chart system that everybody sees in front of me to trade your ITM, the Dex Atomic ITM is referred to, the in the monies, right?
Correct.
And are you successful?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This week, trading 2 contracts, including today, a couple of trades this morning. I'm up $468 this week, so 234. Is that total right? That total doesn't sound right. Let me.
Yeah, single contract run.
Oops, I forgot to include today's trades.
Okay.
That was up through yesterday. So yeah, 468. I took a loss this morning, my first loss of the week.
Oh.
So I'm at 468 for the week. So 234 per contract.
Yeah.
For the week.
Yeah, we talk about per contract success because when Thor's trading 2 contracts, to say 468 may be a little misleading at times, because there's people are like, well, how do I make $800 or $900? I'll just add another contract. No, in Thor's case, it was that if you traded for the week at 1 contract at a time, you'd have made 234. Is that about right? Did I nail that?
Exactly.
Okay. So, and most people are like, Max, that's not a lot of money. Well, no, it's not. It's not a lot of money, greatly a lot of money, but it took a lot of time and practice to get to that point. And I don't know if you heard what he said. He had his first loss today, right? So even though that it was a loss, you could still itemize that process. Everybody's going to have losses. back with the ATM system, you get losses every single day, you know. But the average of coming out above, and I'll show you what some of that looks like here in a second. But Thor, you're trading live money. This isn't demo. This isn't speculation for you. So,
no.
And you just started trading at this level. How long have you been trading live with it?
Oh, since I'll give you the exact date here. I've been trading live with the Atomic. It takes some getting my head together, to be honest with you.
Sure.
So, you know, I think I first started trading the Atomic on 424 with the way I'm trading now.
Oh, okay. So you got in a month or so ago.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's I gotta scroll back further. I labeled them of 1 hour, so
right.
A lot of them were trading the pure Atomic.
Right.
The way I'm trading now, 420. Prior to that, I was trading live.
Right.
But I was having mixed success and not being disciplined enough.
Right. So once you found your discipline, your patience, and your discipline, you found your consistency, and now look at you, 234 contract pricing. So awesome. There is a part of the process for us that we and again, Thor, you exude this because you've been around in trading, but this takes little to no experience to start. Other than navigation of your system and know how to navigate a website, click a button, do those kind of things, pay attention, listen to reason, do some training. You have to have those abilities. You have to have the will. You have to have the drive. Remember, patience plus discipline. Discipline is not an easy thing just to tell somebody what to do, right? They have to have patience. They can't be in a hurry. You got to be really wrapped into this. Now, there's many ways to trade this process. Thor trades the ITM, which is a process where he uses dynamic structure and can see the dynamic structure at different levels, which we teach you how to use. We also have an ATM that's a little bit easier because you just go as soon as the arrow comes out, you just go at whatever the open price is of the bar that the arrow is on, right? The open price here, this is a bar, boom, you got the win. You got the win. You have the win. We have a loss. This one, another loss. This one, another loss. So here on this one, you may have 3 losses, but you end up over a period of a day, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Out of 11 trades, 12 trades, there is 4 losses, you see? And this was a huge day yesterday. Okay, so the concept is it takes a little bit to get into and to figure it out and to practice. When you start out trading demo, you could trade 1 or 2 contracts, you're really getting it on. And what I tell people is trade at where your balance would normally be in live in demo. So if you have $3,000 you're going to be using in live, then trade like up to that point, right? Like where you're going to start at. So by the time you go to live, there's no transition, right? You're always going to start back over at 1 contract and start from there. Now in an ITM system where we're risking $75 or $70 per contract to make $30 or $25, you want to make sure that for every single contract you're doing, you have about 7 at one time, right? So if you're trading 3 or 4 trades at once, right, you got to count that each one of those is a single contract, right? So what you do is that you should have between 5 to 7. You should have about $700 per contract when you're trading, right? And so with Thor's trading 2 contracts at a time, you should have between $1,400 and $2,100 when it's on his personal preference. He may decide that he doesn't want to put a single contract. He might be trading 2 or 3 trades at a time. So he might change that perspective from his own viewpoint.
Yeah, I rarely trade 2 different pairs at a time. Usually I'm just in 1 pair. Sometimes I will trade 2 different pairs, 2 contracts each. That's kind of stretching it for where my account is right now, so I don't like to do it. And I also like to make sure that I'm not doing the Audi yen and the Audi USD, you know, both of those, or the GBP USD and the US and the you know, where I have the same pair, you know, same denominator, if you will,
right,
to the USD or the Japan or the Aussie dollar.
Right, either the
So,
quote pair or the base pair is not the
right,
same. So you wouldn't use
right,
like the Euro Great Britain pound and the Euro USD, or
right.
the Euro JPY and the USD
Yeah.
JPY, right?
And the Audi Japanese yen and the Audi USD move almost in lockstep.
Yeah, they
You've probably noticed that, but you look at, you'll flip from one chart to the other and it's like they're identical. And you say, wait, did I make a mistake? Am I looking at the wrong
well
chart?
in most cases you're absolutely right. You can get
I mean, yeah,
every once in a while when you get a like we're going to hit this pair, you can kind of see that they do both have
right,
a possibility, right? So
right.
if I pull one off and I put it over here and let's see, what did I do here? It's the Audi GPY, and I crux that to that like that, pull that one up there, and you can kind of see that they both have.
Mhm.
There's the Audi
Very
USD on the
similar.
left. It is very similar, right?
Right.
And it kind of looks, though the levels, and on
Yeah.
some, you can kind of, you'll be like, wait a minute, that's the Audi USD, that's the Audi GPY. Why do they look so similar? Well, because they are. The Audi is a very powerful pair, or very powerful currency pair, because
It's a volatile currency.
it's very volatile. And I wouldn't say prima donnish, because it has value. I would say because it's what they refer to as a commodity pair. Gold will affect this pair very strongly, just like oil affects the USDC80 here on the left screen. This is my prima donna pair, because and mostly because I love Canadians and I think that they're all very prima donnish. But no offense to any Canadians out there, right? But
only the French Canadians.
I'm gonna French Canadian. I'm gonna get like hate mail now. So
Yeah.
and I can't wait for it.
Sorry, Matt.
Right? That's all right.
Send it to me. You can forward
Right.
it to me.
But to get out of theory of this process is that there's a tremendous amount of power when you take the simplistic value of what these charts are and utilize them to make physical money. Because everybody's like, well, Max, you need to have, when I first started trading, I had a buddy of mine, and he goes, well, he was a day trader. He was a floor trader. And oh man, I got a chance to go see. I went to New York, and he took me on a tour, and I had to like fill out all his paperwork. And I was like, this is like the best thing ever. And I'm looking around, and by the time I was done, I knew one thing for sure in my life: I never wanted to be a floor trader. This guy took so much abuse and had to like fight, scream, kick, punch. It looked like, I don't know, like some sort of Fight Club met fish market met, some sort of, gotta survive kind of thing. And if you made a mistake, oh my God, you could be the best guy in the world one day and the worst crook the next, because you made a mistake or made a process or didn't make enough money. And to me, if you had the chops to be able to do that, you're a psycho. Right? Because let me tell you, man, what the verbiage and the things that I saw, the people, what they would do. I went into the bathroom and there was some dude doing coke in there, and I'm like, this is like a nightclub met Fight Club, and decided to throw food and money all over the place. Met a strip club, like a whole bunch of clubs together, and the mentalities behind it, the Wolf of Wall Street mentality, was way too much for me to absorb. And a year or two before I started DEX Signals, the actual network, when we were getting into binaries, and I was researching, who to model our company around, I kept on trying to find somebody with a decent perspective of simplicity, because that's what I really wanted. I wanted somebody to take the complication process that we had found and simplify it, and nobody could, because nobody wanted to. Because if you keep it complicated, you still have control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A lot of these companies make their systems overly complicated, because then they can have a bunch of variables that can F you up, and they can't be at fault for it. Well, it's a very complicated system, and you're never going to get what you get, because it's too complicated for me to explain it to your tiny little brain. I asked an individual once who was the owner of a company with the initials DM. And this bugger always irritated me so bad, because it was always like it was condescending. And when I said, hey, look, I have a bunch of people that I want to bring to this. Is there any way we can make this a little simpler? And he said, no, because it keeps out all the people that shouldn't be trading. And at first, I won't say I giggled, but I laughed at that remark, because it was so absurd to me. but yet kind of made sense at first. It was like, I could see that, right? No shoes, no shirt, no service, no brain, no will, no trading, right? No drive, no desire, no trade, right? And it wasn't until I started to see people coming over that I started to see why he was cut that way, right? Somebody who was probably beaten up a lot over his ideals or his concepts or his trade system or his program. And he got frustrated for people who couldn't understand it immediately or see it. And he had to constantly explain it. God knows I've explained our system thousands and thousands of times. The trader's mind process was derived to help people understand what trading was even before they got there, even before they had a wealth of knowledge. So my cast here on the world, my shadow that I hopefully will leave, is that I've taken something very complicated and made it very simple. And it's because of people like Thor and Chris and Paul and many others that I've been able to do that. So let's stop babbling about that stuff and get to the weekly wrap up, if you will. Now, I have the unique pleasure of having a Discord system that we have some people in every day in their trading and in their doing certain things. And two of those people, Ron Fickert and David Menning, have been a constant source of reliability. And when I say that, I mean, like, they're in there testing, they're making stuff work. And these guys are not paid actors, right? They're not here because they're being told to. I asked for help, and they stood to the occasion here, and they just got in and started testing. Now, what I mean is that when I said that we had an idea that the arrows on the Dex Atomic, when we first started the Dex Atomic, we wanted to only go with arrows after a pullback, and then you went with the trend. Okay. So after the pullback, and then you went with the trend. And this resulted in that, yes, there was occasionally losses, but there was a lot less trades that have the availability. We then found that if you use every single arrow, but just use it as a process of looking for an ITM and a level to be at, that you could have a great line of success. And that's what Thor's using right now. There's also another dynamic structure of looking at, support and resistance areas, of course, and this yielded out a lot less process. We then found a counted, what we refer to as counted support and resistance level, where you go when the arrow fires and you go back however many. If you're on a 5-minute chart, you go back 12. If you're on a 15-minute chart, you go back 8, and you look for the high or low. So if you have a sell, you go back and you look for a high of that last 12 bars, and that is your support level or your resistance level, depending on your direction. We then found, with more testing and more data, that every single arrow has a potential to win. And what is that potential? Well, when you're trading on an ITM, you're only getting, you're doing about $25 to $30 per contract, and you're risking $65 to $75 per contract, in some cases even $80. You lose one, you're going to have to make up 4. And I wanted to be able to limit that even further. So we came out with the ATM system, which is an at the money program, which we've been asked for years. Please come out. Hey, you got an ATM program? If I had something like that, it'd be crazy. And to listen to the fact that you have to study numbers to be able to do this. And when you know that it's only 62% or 60% or 55% that you need to be able to be successful. When my strategy tester started telling me, hey, listen, you only need 55% to break even. And the majority of the days that we've been looking at on the Dex Atomic, we went back through the Dex Atomic charts and started looking at, if I came out here at this line, where was it at the price ending after that? So if I came out at 45 and got the price for $45 profit and it won, I made $45. If it lost, I lost $55. Well, that was turning out to be an unsured practice. We weren't sure exactly where it was going to come out. So I started to say, there's no way really, there is a way now, I'm creating it on how to back test these arrows. There is a way that I do. And now I'm creating a system right now because I'm learning the codes on how to do that through the Dexatomic series on Trading View. And that's what I'm building out next, and be able to have that strategy tester. Okay. And in that case, what the strategy tester started telling us was that all pairs, whether they're masters or secondaries for Nadex, have a high rate of success of above 55%. Now, there's some days that it overall, on some days you'll have losing days at like 52%, which will kind of cut you into like one trade up, one trade down. I'll explain that here in a second. But what we have found was that there was still winning potential there. Even you could have one day, maybe a 1.5 days bad during a week, but the other 3 were still good. You made quite a bit of money. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here. So I put this out there to David Menning and Ron Fickert inside Discord. I put it out to Discord and say, hey, look, can somebody come and help me test this? And we had several people jump to the occasion. I think Jeff Vandenberg did too as well. I've seen his charts for a little bit, or his journal. But the process here was simple. Go in and just test. When the arrow comes out, go to the statement price that is closest to the open price of that arrow as possible, right? So for a sell like this, you would come down to 68.46, somewhere close to that on Nadex. And even though that you may lose, you may win, at that point, you only needed 55% to break even. So if you got 60%, that meant you won at least one trade. Okay. For every 10 trades that you would do, you would win 6. And if you lost 4, that meant there was a supplement of 2 trades that you won. That would put you $110 in the positive, or $100 in the positive. So that means out of every 10 trades, you could make $100 at 60% success. Now, in the case you hit 62%, which puts you one more trade up, you could win $150 for every 10. So we look at our successes at the batches of 10 trades, and some are vibrating much higher per 10 trades. Some are vibrating lower at 10 trades. Because again, there are some people that are taking, I think Ron Fickert was taking a lot more trades. There's some out there that are taking every single one that comes over, even like when Thor and I were talking earlier about not trading Audi JPY and Audi USD together, because the quote pair is the same, okay? And where the base pair is, so the quote is the left and the base is the right. And if I traded the euro with the quote pair of being euro at the same time, I stand a chance, because if the euro takes a crap or does really well, and we have a sell signal or a buy signal, depending on where it is, and it goes against us, both are going to lose in the majority. In the case of trading both an Audi JPY and a euro JPY, might be a little bit different. But if the JPY comes on and does really well against our signal, then the euro is going to drop. The Audi is going to drop. And if we have a buy at that time, we're going to lose those trades. So we try to keep it completely simple to that part. At least I try to. There's times that I will take multiple trades, depending on the setup, right? And at first, I started to go back and say, when the signal fires, I'm looking at, oh, this is a buy pattern. I'm adding more rules in, you see, instead of just going, take the signal, Max, take the signal and just go. So I'm going to show you the system, how somebody's trading it. And we're going to analyze some of those trades right now. And we're going to jump over to, this is David Menning's total chart. Here's what he's made since he started. Okay, remember, this is in demo. I don't want you to get any preconceived notions that I'm trying to pass off live for demo. David Menning's still in demo. He's going live next week. I'm the only one out of our group that I have assets for that show a live system. Okay, show me making money live. Okay, and you've seen me trade it live on the system. But David Menning started back on the 2nd of June, which was 10 days ago. 10 full days. How many trading days? Well, if we look at it, he doesn't have today's or the 12th on it. I don't think he does, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 physical trading days, and even one with a heavy news day on this Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, because it's the NFP, and a heavy day of news on the 10th and from the 9th to the 10th in between those 2 days, right? And this will be, you'll see when we get into this, you'll see where it kind of, we have a couple of losing days in here, 1.5 losing days, but quickly comes back. And during this time, during this 2-week period, very heavy. He also has his breakdown for the week. 94 trades, 65% success for the week so far. David Menny, thank you very much for being so thorough with your trading and your, I don't know what the blue line is, but I'll have to figure that one out. Maybe I was lost for the day or what have you. I don't know. But if we go back over to his total, you'll see that the orange, because I used to tell people I hate red, so don't put red on. But the yellow lines are day breaks. So these are, so it goes from, 1200 midnight to the now 2 o'clock in the morning. And if you're wondering, how's this guy doing this? Well, he's retired and he's my new, he's definitely a new workhorse to the process. And I really do appreciate what this man does. And it's because of him, we were able to really see some other things that we normally wouldn't have seen, because there's a lot of factual thought that goes into strategy and strategizing a process, but to get people to actually physically do it, can they do it? So he's proving the model. He's retired. He has time on his hands. So if you had time on your hands, could you do this? Even if you could do half of what he does, this is a pretty damn good week or 2 weeks. It's about $500 a week at that point, right? But could you do more? And by the way, that's one contract. Everything I have him doing is one contract. And he gets down into this is the 3rd and the 4th. This is last week. It was a really good week last week for him. And then you get into this week, and things start to get a little crazy in the very beginning of the week, it was okay. And then we get into like the 8th and the 9th, we get a couple more losses, starts to ramp in. And then all of a sudden on the 9th, we get a couple of runs of threes, bad loss, ends the day out hurtful, gets into the next day, another 3. This is now into the 10th. And it kind of hits him below the belt, right? It gives him a -7 for one day. And for this day here, I could probably just do a quick sum right here live. I just come up here and go like that. A -$179 day. And before you have a conniption fit, 100 minus 179 is about 4 trades. We call that a -4, right? So 4 trades, about $45 per. So, you have a -4 day. But the other days you've had +5s, +4s, +3s, okay? Because it's for every trade. So every $45 becomes a unit, we refer to it as. Okay. So in this time, I call this, when you have an under $45 plus or minus day, it's called break even. This is a break even day. Even though that you're -7, I don't see this as a losing day. I still see this as a break even day. Because you could probably jump to your couch and find $7 sitting in your couch, okay? Or left in your jeans. Your wife or husband probably finds, if they're doing laundry, probably finds, who's ever doing your laundry, if you're doing it, you probably find more money left in your pockets in a day than most people this would ever lose in that process. So, but quickly into the 11th, which is today, or no, yesterday, we get into this. Look at this run. Beautiful run. Gets a couple losses, but still at the end of the day, what does he have? $747 day. Look at this right here. Gets into this day, because here's the day for him. This is just in one day, the 11th. This is $1,019 from 2 o'clock in the morning. This is incredible. This is all yesterday, from 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday to 5 o'clock. The very last trade of the day for him on a Thursday. Boom, there it is. This is the proof that it is so important just to become. This is an individual. This is not some automated system. This is not some This is not some sort of plug and play kind of fake bullcrap. This is real, in your face. Help him do a little housekeeping here. This is real, in your face person doing trading and taking it very serious. and again, how much time is he actually putting into it? Thor, how much time does it take you to make a trade? A single trade? You still there? I think I talked to everybody to death.
No.
Okay.
I had muted myself. Sorry, and then
I always worry that, damn, have I been talking to myself for the last hour?
No. Less than 5 minutes. Rarely 6 minutes. Usually less than 5 minutes to scan through them. And since I do one trade, when I find one, I kind of stop. So if I find one near the top of the list, I rarely do two. So usually it doesn't take me very long at all.
Right.
And then I go do something else. In fact, I was kind of joking that I'm going to steal my wife's little timer that she bakes with,
Oh, yeah.
Set it for 55 minutes.
Right.
And when it beeps, I go back to my computer.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because I use my phone to do that. I finish my time up. I look at the clock. If it's 10 minutes after, I set for 45 minutes. And I know that in 45 minutes, it's 55 minutes too. I can come in, sit down. It takes me about a minute or two to walk up to my office. I sit down in front of the computer. I don't even go to Nadex yet. I just go right to a page. And then when I see the 11 o'clock or the top of the hour hit, I switch over to my charts or to my signal, which I'll show you guys here in a second. And then I go back and forth. And I may recognize that a trade lost or won or what have you. But what I'm trying to do is to show a methodical process of just getting in and making it very methodical and mechanical. And I'm pretty sure that's what David does as well, is that he comes in and he makes his trade and he's done. He's not sitting and toiling over the product because the product works. The product makes money. It knows what it's supposed to do. It's like making batch cookies, right? You come in, you put them in, you set the timer, you made your dough, you put everything in, you know how to cook, right? You don't put something in the oven unless you're doing like a souffle or something, and sit and stare at the thing for 4 hours while it's cooking. You go do other stuff.
Exactly.
Right? My dog probably sits and looks at my oven more than I do because he's waiting for something to come out that he can eat. Right? So the point being is that it doesn't take very much time to do this. So even though David's coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever time, and he's working all the way to 5, Max, that's so many hours. Well, yeah, that's like 15, 16 hours. But he's got so much other stuff he's probably doing. He's retired. Figuring out how many fish he's going to catch. I don't know. But at the same time, this may be a little bit too much. Let's jump over and look at Ron Ficker. Oh, boy. I love you, Ron. But you love the color red, apparently. I'll leave it. It's your chart. You do whatever you're going to do. I tried to give you a warning. And I'm glad you did this. You did orange here. Now, look at this. Ron started on the 3rd. Started off, poor guy, right off the bat, 4 losses. Right? Even though this one, I guess this one he got in on like an OTM. That's an OTM price, right? It's pretty good. First day in. First day in. Now this is real progression, right? First day in, $3. And again, when we were first talking, there was probably some things that maybe have been going on that maybe didn't get the right strike price or was thinking about something else or what have you, right? But got in. Like even this one chose wrong direction. Probably even shouldn't have this one in here, right? But mistakes, you check it. And here's what I tell people: learn from these mistakes. Hit this and lucky it was a win. If it wasn't a win, did it teach you something wrong? Yeah. Oh, should I go with all the trades in the opposite direction? No. Right. So in this one, he was upside down. He was 2 to 7, but he stuck it out. By the time he got down, there's another four loss run. And now he's only made 1,038 in that time. And there's a lot of trades in here. Okay. But here's a $204 win for the day. Here's a, I don't know how it got, okay, minus 50 cents day, right? I don't know what the minus 68 is, where that's coming from. But either way, and maybe that's for the week or something because of the top one. I don't 271. Yeah. So this may have been him in practicing the process, right? And then where does the real process start to take off is for Ron, and he's trading this in demo is this week, right? Here's the 8th, here's the 7th, And as he starts to calculate down, there's a $358 day. We get back down here. Here's a $229 day. Here's another mistake you got to be very careful of, not to embarrass him. Making sure that you don't put 47 contracts in. Okay. Now, luckily, this was on. If you don't have that kind of money in there, you still got to be careful, because it could fill. Even though you put 100 in, it may fill 50 if you could afford 50.
It will.
Yes.
If you put 100 in, and it'll fill the maximum of your account. It'll fill 12 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely will.
It'll robber baron you. So you have to be very, 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 very careful. This is why you practice and you get muscle memory in trading and demo. And that's why I always want to beat people into the face when they're like, Max, I've been trading Nadex for so many years. Well, have you gone back and forth from trading signals in that process? Have you ever put in too many contracts? If you've never done it, then just go and do whatever you're going to do. Don't worry about trading demo, but trade demo just to get the muscle memory down of going back and forth. And if you go a month without making mistakes, like stupid mistakes, like, and again, Ron, I love you, but 47, I've done it. So I can call it stupid, because it is. We get in a hurry. We don't pay attention. Something happens. We're trying to hurry, get into a trade, and it happens. It's a stupid mistake, because we know better. Slow it down and make it happen. And I'm pretty sure you have. So he gets into this process, and it just starts to gel. It just starts to come in. And you see, did the market really change? Maybe in the beginning he was doing it wrong, or something was happening, or what have you, or he was getting into bad trades at certain times, or it wasn't something that was his fault or our fault or the market or what have you. It was just dumb luck getting in at certain times when the market's dipping down and we have a session of losses. There's probably a lot of stuff in there too of going with multiple trades at different times. There's the Euro USD, the USD CHF, the Euro JPY, all in the same time frame. Right? He could have just lost one instead of three, or vice versa, right? He could have lost just two instead of four, so or three at that point. So it's a concept that we learn, and whether or not he was getting at the right level or what have you, you could see it easily gelled out. And even if it was a bad couple of days, like you seen on David Menning's chart, he had a bad 1.5 days, it still came out above. Now, remember, they're still in there trading one contract at a time, with the exception of the 47 there. Okay. So that's just coming out. Now, finally, my week. Okay. This is from the 7th. I had to do this. I wanted you to see this. I started on Monday, started Sunday night. Sunday night, right? Yeah. Sunday night. And I got in and started trading this live. Some of the, you see me trade them live on the charts, and actually physically have my live system open. So I'm trading in live. I'm not going to tell you I'm trading live and not be trading live. All right. My integrity is too high for that. And as I got into this process, I had, now for me, it was a little different. And you see that I don't have a day in here. I don't have the 9th in here. Why? Because on the 8th, I had a bad day. I came out, I had a couple losses. At the same time, Ron had a bad day in that time period. Right? And I didn't show my trades there. I didn't trade on the 9th. I even said that during the week. We even skipped a whole show because I didn't trade that day, because I went back like an idiot and went back to my system and went, let me check to make sure that the signals aren't firing differently. If something's wrong, what's going on? We just back tested this thing for like 6 months on every single pair. And we've never had, we had rarely ever had like a day like this, where it's like a day and a half where we had 5 or 6 losses and the thing was going. I wanted to make sure that nothing was kaflooey about the system. And after 40 something hours, it felt like I finally proved that there wasn't anything wrong with the system. In fact, the system was working so well that it bounced back very quickly. And once it did, I jumped back in, and this is my day yesterday. This is my day yesterday. Okay. Again, trading to the same amount of time, $457. The majority of my week was made in one day. Even though that I had planned not to overly trade, I still wanted to make an effort to give the David Menning college try and push into it, And when I did well. I didn't trade after yesterday afternoon because I did something yesterday afternoon. I told myself that I wasn't going to trade at that level. I was going to trade how I wanted to live my lifestyle. And I wanted to work. I wanted to get up early from 8 to 3. And yesterday I even traded to 5 o'clock because I was getting into it. I was excited. I was like, oh, this is so great. But even if I pulled back and I said, okay, I would have probably won $600. Right? Because I had like 3 trades past my time that I wanted to do. Maybe I made $600 for the week. And why is that so cool? Because I'm trading one contract at a time. How do I make $1,800 for the week? Trade 4 contracts. If you can afford it, do it. If you can't, don't. And do the incremental crawl. This system is so powerful. And you know, I'm gonna give it to you right between the eyes today. If you don't see it, you're blind. If you don't trust it, I don't blame you, but I got no more time. I got no more time to try to convince anybody that we're real. I know we're real. You could watch 10 of my videos and find out how real we are and how we talk. So, Chris and Thor and Maxx and Paul and Vivian and David Menning and Ron Fickert and all these people that are here pushing this and making this work and trying to get it in. We are coming to a head. April 1st, we turned off all of our systems for subscriptions. I don't know if all of you probably knew that. April 1st, we stopped all subscriptions to the network because of the COVID-19 system. And we're coming out of COVID now. We're coming into protest season and other seasons, and I don't know, looting, if that's all still going on. I've shut my windows to the world for a reason. Not that I believe one way or another should be emulated here on this show today, but my mentality is different. Power through. Let's make it work. So what we're going to be doing, and Thor's going to be a huge part of this. Chris is going to be a huge part. So am I. What we're going to do, and Paul Davey is as well, of course. What we're going to do is that we have a mission statement, and that mission statement is simple: to help as many people as possible get to their idea success. Well, normally I'd leave you alone. Like when you first show up, you pop in, you get some things, you got some stuff, you got access to consults. You know, you can hit the videos page, study as much as you want. You can look at all the consults. You can come in and talk to Thor in a live chat or phone call or what have you, or me or what have you. And, you know, we put the ball in your court. Go do what you're going to do, make your money. We sayonara, right? Do whatever you're going to do. You want to stay, you want to go, you want to make it happen, right? And the majority of people come in, they get their money, they make their money, they do whatever, and they pay their money. Okay? So we put out in April 1st, we turned off all the subscription and we made the Dexatomic free. Usually this was behind a veil of $127 a month, and we made it absolutely free. All those charting systems that you see, right? They were free, absolutely free. They still are. Right? These Dexatomic charts, we put advertisings on the website, which has been a real nuisance. We haven't really made a lot of money from these because AdSense just has a way that for some reason, for anything to do with a trading company or an education company about trading, they just kick you right in the old gonads. Right? But the point being is that we haven't really been making a lot of money with this process because we haven't been focusing back onto what's really important. For all you people that are here for free, you're kind of just coming in, kicking the tires, having a look, getting the charts and doing your thing, but you're really not seeing it because I don't feel we're really helping you push it to put you into that camp. Right? We got to give you the drive. We got to show you exactly what to do. And we want to be able to help you through that process. You guys haven't done this stuff before. I understand. So here's what we want to do. And I'm going to jump up here. We talked about this yesterday. This will be the last time of the week that we're going to talk about it. And we're going to bring this thing out. We are going to make an exclusive network for DexFX Markets only because, not because we want to make a bunch of money off a whole bunch of people. And I say not only because we will make money, and we deserve to make money by providing a service and a system that we've spent years building. Am I right, Thor? Chris, we've built this. It's taken years to build to get to the system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And somebody told me once, well, Max, if your system works so well, why don't you just give it free to everybody? Well, you know what? I didn't get here. I'm not an idiot. If my food's so good, if I'm that great of a cook, why don't I give my food away? You could shut down every single restaurant in that process with that theory. If I'm so good at what I do, why would I teach anybody and charge anybody? Why don't you just show them how to make money? Blah, 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 blah. It's because that's bullshit. That's a bullshit answer. That's a skeptic going and trying to punch everything in the face just because he's mad at the world or whatever, troll or whatever. But there is a process that I can do. Is that I can help you get there. Do we care just about the almighty dollar? The answer is no. But if we didn't care a little bit about it, we wouldn't be in business. I wouldn't have made a trading system. I wouldn't have tried to help as many people as possible. We wouldn't have put 40,000 people through trade. You know that's the number. I try to look every single month of how many people have gone through Trader's Mind and watched the videos. You know, single IPs that have watched the videos through all the way through, that have watched Trader's Mind or have gone through Nadex Ninja or have gone through those solutions. 40,000 plus IPs. Don't even know what it is today. I checked back in at the end of May. 40,000 plus, probably about 45 now. But holy crap, that's a lot of people. And even if we got somebody we helped a couple of people, even 10% of people, that's still a lot of people. So what we want to do now is that we're going to create a very exclusive network with Dex FX Markets. Because I believe that if we just throw it out there everywhere, okay, and how powerful the ATM system, if you don't see how powerful this is sitting in front of you, then you're blind. If you don't see how powerful it is to make live money from this process, sitting at home doing this, then you're blind. Then I can't help you. We're going to put out on Sunday night a very powerful page that you're going to go to and join to sign up to say that you want to be a part of it. But let me warn you, when we put this out on Sunday night, there are going to be certain restrictions. If you're already a founder, if you're already bought the system, you already have that stuff, a word of warning, do not, I repeat, do not come over to this exclusive. You're going to have access. If you're a founder or a lifetime member, you're going to have access to the signals and the systems, and you're going to keep that access. I'm going to put that to the side. That's going to be its own little area, its own little network that you're going to go to. But what I'm referring to as the exclusive networks, the Dex Atomic system and coming on board, whatever we're going to call it, is going to be for those that only want for us to be able to grab them and help them get to a point to get them to the live marker, right? That you're making money live. Okay. So only come over there if you're willing to go through the entire process to get to trading live money. Because once we do that, you're going to be paying a certain amount a month. Even if you're a founder or a live member or whatever, and you think, well, I should have it all for free. No, there's going to be a processing marker there because we want the system to be able to be maintained and taken care of. I need to be able to pay Thor and Paul and Vivian to be able to come in there and help you guys every single day. If you have a problem with your indicator or your automation system or what have you, you're gonna have to. There's a processing side of that. For some of you, I'm only going to start taking a processing fee per month of $50 per month, and okay, it's about $47, and paying for a lifetime subscription. So if you're here paying $157 a month already for memberships, that if you sign up for this program, that could change. That could change for you because you would pay that amount up to a certain amount. I think it's like $2,400 for a lifetime membership now. Or you can take one of our payment programs of paying $100 a month for 24 months or $200 a month for 12 months. Okay. But we're going to create a lifetime membership system that gets you access to the website and the process, but the processing fee of $50, $47 a month, while you're paying for your lifetime won't be added, of course. But once you finish your lifetime, then you'll be paying, and once you go live, that's when the processing fee starts. Isn't it? It's pretty cool, I think. I'm biased, but because we want you to be successful. We want you to get to that line of success. We want you to make money. It'll drive us for you to be able to make money. So you'll pay for your lifetime. If you've already paid for a lifetime, or if you're already a founder, if you come into the program, you're going to get the program. We're going to help you get to that point of being live. Then once you're live, 1 month after you're live, we'll be sending you an invoice for $50 or $47, whatever it is a month for processing every single month. Because while you're making money, the system's working for you. We've proven that factor. You should be paying a processing fee. Okay. Because it takes a lot of money for the systems to run and program. Now, this exclusive network's only going to have about 200 people in it. We're gravitating between 100 to 200 people. But we're asking for about 200 people to be in the system, because I think that's what the three, Paul, Vivian, and Thor can handle, and myself. And you'll have access to me. You'll have access to Chris, people who are actually doing it and making money. And then once a year, if we don't have 200 people at that level, we're going to invite people. If we have 200 people that are all live and they're all at that point, then we have room for another 200 people at that point to help get them to the live section. And whatever we cap out it, we'll cap out it. You know, we don't know what we don't know yet. But we're going to do this, and it's going to happen. We're going to open up the doors here this Sunday, but the doors will close sometime either at the end of June 30th area, or in the very first 2 weeks of July, depending on how well we get everything on board and the training and the vastness of this product done, right? And what is going to be inside for you? Well, first off, you're going to have the availability to have access to all the signals and systems. You're going to see alerts like this, okay? And you're going to have access to this, and there'll be an alert phase, okay? There'll be a process that, you know, all the trades that are coming on, you'll be able to see when, you know, for 1 hour for at the monies, there'll be a very specific genre that you can join. If you want 2 hour trades, you want 3, you know, you want the 1 hour signals, you want the ATMs or ITMs or OTMs. Yeah, there will be OTMs as well. We're creating that process as well. And we're going to show you how to trade them all. And once you decide which one you want to do, you're going to be maintaining a journal. We're going to walk you through the process. You're going to be in a chat room, what we call a community. And that inside that community, you'll be able to ask questions to make sure, you know, you're going to ask them of people that can answer almost immediately. There'll be all times a day that we'll have covered. If you're to that point, you're going to have consults on when to go live and how much money you're going to need or what you're going to do and how you're going to trade. We're going to look at your journals. We're going to assess your trading style and your mentality, and we're going to help you get to that live. It's our job to help you get to live, not rush it, not push it, but get you to a point to getting. Now, remember, you paid for your lifetime. You're not paying any processing until you actually start trading live. And 1 month after you traded live, we'll send you an invoice. Why? Because we'll know when you push the button, and we'll see your results. We'll know what your results are doing. We'll know you're successful. That's what we're here for. How can I tout that our mission statement is to get to your idea of success if you never go live? If you're a constant and perpetual demo because you're unsure, because you have one winning week and one losing week, and oh God, you know, the Zedon system was very strong. The signals are very strong. But the process overall, on an average, keeps returning back to the mean with the signals, with the daily signals, the intradays, the TNT system. There are people who trade the daily signals still today. Like Dolores is never going to leave the daily signals because she trades them in a certain fashion that makes her about $200 to $300 a month. Then that's all she needs. She doesn't need anything more. And that's after she pays us. Well, she's been with us for like a really long time, you know? So she doesn't, you know, actually she doesn't pay anything right now. So she's still making her money. But that's the point. It's like, we want to be able to help people get to their idea of success. We want to physically walk you there and help you get there. No more talk. And with that said, I want to thank Chris and Paul and Thor and Vivian for all being there for me, as well as helping me develop these things. You guys have anything to add to the end before I do the final thought?
No,
just to this is Chris. Just to reiterate the fact that if you're a founder, co-founder, diamond exec, that you'll have access to all of what we have. So there's no time frame, because I'm getting some calls and they're saying, oh, you know, I want to get in, and I just mentioned to them that, again, co-founder, founder, diamond execs, or lifetime members, you know, you're already in. So don't don't have to worry about that.
The short list, like Chris is alluding to here, is that you have availability for it. And even if you don't get into the exclusive network, you'll still have access to signals, and you'll still have access to all of it as a lifetime member. But you won't have access to the exclusive part of it, right? What I mean by that is that you can't just be in and be like, yeah, I think I'll do it this Thursday, and then I'll try it next week for maybe a couple minutes, and then maybe in a couple months from now I'll do it again. That's not what I'm looking for. If you want to trade on your own time and you want to do that kind of stuff and just kind of, you know, mill around and do whatever, you'll still have, like I always promise, you'll still have access to the tools at your disposal. You just won't have my undivided 100% attention to you on that. Okay. You'll still have your seat. You'll still have your process that you can do for yourself, and you'll still get customer service. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to be in that exclusive club where it's going to be like every single day we're meeting and we're in a room. How's it going for you? How's it going for you? How's it going for you? Oh, I had these 3 trades. I didn't know if I should have gotten to this one. That's not a problem. Let's get onto a screen share and see, which we do immediately. You're in a chat. I'm in a chat. I pull up a screen. I look at your thing. Oh yeah, you probably should have went with this one. Oh, you're missing this. Your VPS is not set up this way, or your process is not set up this way. Because see, this alert database is only one little tiny trigger of this entire process. Because guess what? Once we get things to a database like this, I can then import this into a ZDON system, which then can trade onto Nadex. And why am I talking like this? I don't know. But that's true. And once that happens, automation comes in. And when you're at this level of success, that you're trading a high number of trades, you can, and in that system, in the ATM system for ZDON, you'll be able to say, I only want to trade the euros between a certain period of time. I only want to trade the AUD USD between these times, or I only want to be able to trade this one at that time, just like we kind of do now with the ZDON. But here, you'll set your parameter 45 or to 55, blah, 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 whatever it is, and you're on. You're done. Like right here, I've on the majority have traded, you know, for the vastness of this week. I think I only have one secondary pair in there. There's one, Great Britain pound USD or JPY. I don't see any others that are in here that aren't masters on the 5, right? So I have one in there. Oh, wait, sorry, that's for today. And that was Ron, sorry. Let me go back here and look. Euro JPY, Great Britain pound. Wait, did I see a CHF in there? Yep, there it is. USD CHF is one. All the rest should be, yep. So I have the USD CHF in trading, but all the others are masters. I haven't even begun yet to put on the others yet for me. The alert system that we use is being finalized today, and I have to get off the phone here now, or off the webinar here shortly, so I can go in and finish before I run out of time for the system to work, or it's going to be delayed till Monday. But the system itself is going to go out for advanced. So if you're a founder or a co-founder or what have you, and you sign up for this thing on Sunday or Monday, whatever is coming out, if you sign up for it, you have to be aware, because I'm going to put the video right in there. You have to be aware that this is not a contract, if you will, but it's a promissory of deliverance, right? It's a letter of intent, if you will, that you're willing to come on board and make this shit happen. Now, I kid you not. If you decide that you're going to come on and you can't handle that process, I can completely understand. You can say, Max, I got to bail out, give my seat to somebody else. I can understand that, because this is not going to be easy. This is not and I say it's not going to be easy because what Thor does took time to get his mentality to that point. What David Menning does, to what Ron Fickert does, to what most people who are doing trading consistently have to constantly battle with the inconsistency. Okay. Shit's going to get in the way. Life's going to get in the way. Things are going to happen. You're going to miss days. We understand that. There'll be pause periods. There'll be thought periods. There'll be time. Hey, Max, I'm going to go on vacation for a couple of months. I don't know anybody who goes on vacation for a couple of months, but if you do, then so be it. But my point is that if you're going to come on, make it happen, you're going to be a part of the solution. And you don't know, it takes about 2 to 3 months to really get to a point where you're about to, you could be live in a month. I went live in a single month because I built the system and I know the system so well. But I had a month worth of training, training myself, preparing myself. And what I found is that I'm an idiot. I just got to come in and trade from the signal here. I can't look at the chart because I want to overanalyze everything. So guess what? My mentality, I'm trading with the chart or with the signal base, not the chart. Okay. Because I'm too quick to overanalyze the process because I'm looking at the high, low trends. I'm looking at everything and I'm all over everywhere. Okay. So if you're a founder, co-founder, Diamond Exec, you can sign up for that process. If you're a free member, you're going to be engaged with a code to go and set up the process for yourself. But be understanding that if you don't have a lifetime membership, they're $2,400, but we're willing to make payments with you. If you need more than a $100 a month, less than $100 a month payment, I can work that out with you, but you'll have to write us and talk to us and tell us why. And, it might be embarrassing or what have you. I don't care if it's embarrassing to you. If you want to make it work, you want to put in the time, I'm willing to work with you at any stage. As long as it's something. It could be $20 a month for 48 months or 480 months. I don't care. You could win, the crazy lottery of being paid $1 a year for 1,000,000 years. I don't care what the deal is. As long as you're willing to get to that point and then you have money to trade in live when the time comes so you can make the money we're referring to. I'd rather you trade demo, save your money, put $1,500 in than put $200 in and hope for the best. You see, so these things you're going to be warned about prior to. You're going to come into that process. So if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to get to that solution and boom, done. We'll get you in. We'll make it happen. All right. But this is coming in on Sunday and into Monday. And this list, if you get on it, you better be prepared because you're going to get a little early push at this. We're all going to be in trading demo together. I'll be trading live and David Manning will probably be live at that point as well. I know Thor is going to be live in ITM. So we're going to have people in this room. We're going to have things happening. So be prepared. And I hope that I see many, 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 many of you. This video is going to be going out to a lot of people today. Thor, you got anything last to chuck in?
Well, just real quickly, $100 a month is about what most people are paying. There's some that are paying a little bit more.
Yeah.
Some people that got in at $99 on a coupon or something. Mm-hmm. So that's not a price increase for most people that are already here. Now, if you're here free as a live, free live atomic member, mm-hmm. You're very limited. You're only getting the atomic method. So, you're limited as to what you're getting for free. So maybe 100 months sounds like a lot, but that's about what everybody's paying. There may be, like I said, a few that were in 127, or there may be a few that are in at 99 a month.
Right.
But that's not a price increase.
No. And the limit here is that I'll be reaching out to everybody that's paying a membership now for, like 157 or 127, and I'll be reaching out to you. If you want into the program, I'm going to reduce your stuff back down to whatever it is. We can either reduce it, or we could take a couple of months and put it towards a lifetime membership, or do whatever at that point and get you to that point. If you really want in, remember, the deal is the deal. You got balls enough to ask. If you got the moxie enough to ask, I'm willing to give and work. Okay. So let's make this stuff work. All right. Thor, thanks a lot for hanging out with us today.
No problem.
Chris, I'll be calling you here in a few minutes. We have.
Hey, Max, did you want to, a couple things just to go over what you were saying. I get a lot of calls and just people asking questions. For example, for those of you who don't really know anything about us, I mean, I got a call from Charles yesterday, and he's asking me some really good questions. He definitely was doing his homework. One of the questions that he asked was about the training, and that's what the training in the free section, just like Thor was alluding to. There's so much more that we have besides that free training. But also for those who are enjoy the Zdan, because I get a lot of questions on the auto trading. Charles did his homework. He said, you're the only, there's no company out there that can connect to Nadex. And I said, well, there are just a couple, but there's no one like DexFX Markets that can match what we do on that connection. So again, just we'll put the phone number, Max. I don't know if you want to give it out now or you want to wait till Sunday, but I think it's somewhere on the website. Of course,
no, it is. It's under the contact us page
because I know what it is. But okay, all right. Give me a call. I'm in customer service a lot, so just call and ask, and I'm willing to work with you, just like Max is. So jump on board with us.
Yeah, there's a process that most of you don't understand in this industry. If you call and talk to a company on their product of trading, 90% of those people are legitimate, right? Because nobody in their right mind is going to pick up the phone and talk to you for an hour, and then repetitively do that throughout your entire client history, right? To have that availability to call and talk to somebody. Most of these guys out there just want your money and off you go. See you later. Right. And I used to get this call a lot. How do I know you guys are real? Well, you called up and talked to us. Well, yeah, I guess so. And we've been out for 7 years. Well, yeah, I guess so. We've been out ripping people off for 7 years. You think we wouldn't have been found out and pushed out and kicked out? Absolutely. You know why my naysayers can't say shit anymore? Because there's no speculation whether or not we're real or not, because we are. And we've always proven it. And we've always done it. Everything we said we would do and try to do, we've attempted and worked through and pushed through, and always progressing and always moving and always making it happen. Our daily signals have been out for 6 years. Our intradays for 5.5. Our Dex Atomic for 2 years now. So tell me, if you want to make it work, then you just got to get in and start doing it. And you got to work with a company that's willing to do it for you. This isn't just about being in sales. This is a weekly wrap up. But what's coming up here is something to change your life, and not some new way to do things like I'm going to push the button with my left finger instead of my right finger. Okay. It's real. The Dex Atomic system here for $45, getting in for profit margin. Holy crap. Be prepared, because if you miss out on this opportunity, when I say exclusivity, I mean exclusivity, we're closing it down. I mean for a full year. We're either going to close it down for a full year, or every person that signed up for that time is in either dropped out or live. And if we get dropouts, I might have like halfway through the year, I might open it up for a temporary solution for like a week or so to fill in some live, to get some people on. If we need some more people, like we just pushed everybody into live, everybody got into live, is making money, then get in, here's where it is. But at that time, it'll be, there maybe no payment system. We won't have time for that stuff, because there'll be too much proof in the pudding. There'll be too much work to be done. If you miss it on this coming months, if you miss that time, save your money and wait for us to open it again in 6 months, because I will not, or even a year, because I will not open the door, because we are going to be focusing and having our head down to making the money we want, to making the wealth we want. And in 1 year from this release, that's going to even happen at the end of June or beginning of July, 1 year from that point, mark my words, we'll be having webinars showing our successes, not having the Lamborghinis and the homes on the Maldives, of course, but just the consistency and the solidness that this program will be. You just seen alerts pop off. These are the 4 trades that just came up right here in front of us. This is the system we're utilizing to make this happen, time in and time out. This is only 1 hour trades happening here. We have 2 hours. We have 1 hours. We have ATMs, ITM, OTMs, all firing off all different levels of mentalities. If you see this, if you see this video today and you decide, that may not be for me, you're going to regret that decision. And I tell you, I rarely ever regret most of the decisions I make. But if I were you sitting there now and I heard what I just heard, yeah, when Sunday comes out, when Monday comes out, and if you don't see that, you better be writing and calling us and be like, hey, where's that program? I want it. Let me in. Let me in. You better be ready, because when it hits, it's going to feel quick. And And I'm not talking some scarcity bullshit that's out there. I'm talking real quick. It's going to fill because this is what everybody needs and what we have. I'm Max Farrow. This is DexFXMarkets.com. I really do want to see you inside. I demand it. And as always, live well. We'll talk to you soon.